In my experience, leadership is defined by who you are, what you are, and the experiences you've had. Leadership, there are some internal parts to leadership that some folks just seem to possess more so than others. But there are also things we can do and experience to help us develop our leadership better. So leadership for me is, there's not a quantifiable one data point for it. You got to have this bigger picture.
Leadership is the ability to get people to get jobs done and things done that they might not normally do on their own, but to achieve a common goal. And I would say that more than just a definition of it, there's a lot of components to it. For example, I mean, if you're going to end up looking for a leadership position, a few things that's got to be there is, one is integrity. We tell our new recruits, think about what you want your reputation to be 25 years from now, and it starts today, the first day there at Academy. You've got, through your career, you got to be able to keep your integrity. You also have to have the ability to make decisions that people will follow. In other words, trying to do the right thing the best you know how. And then the other component of it is actually knowledge. People will follow a leader that they feel like he actually knows where he's going. And probably the thing that goes in front of that, before all of that, is a vision. You can lead people in a circle, but that's not where they want to go. You need the vision to be able to put out front and be able to communicate that vision to people. And when you can communicate that vision to them where they can see that vision also, it's a lot easier to lead by example and lead in that direction.
I think you can just say one word. I think it's passion. I think it's having passion for the job, having a good positive attitude. I believe it's coming to work each and every day with drive to try to meet the standards of the mission. And then the hard part is the leader needs to have that as an example for everyone to see, because he expects or she expects all of the people beneath them to have that same type of passion. But it really just comes down to passion and heart. Having the heart for the job each and every day, and the joy deep down inside and fulfillment of what you're doing.
I believe that leadership is the ability for someone to influence someone else to follow or pursue a vision, whether that vision be shared or the department's vision, whatever that vision is, the ability to influence others to follow that vision. That's what I believe. Now that gets into how do you go about getting them to do those become personal skills that you use to be able to do that. But I think as an easy definition, I think it's to influence others to follow a vision. Some of the methods that you use to encourage people to follow that vision, you have to have certain characteristics about your interpersonal dynamics that you use, that you encourage people, you believe in them, and you make sure their competence is there, that you equip them for success. You set them up for success, and then you take the blame when they don't succeed, and then you praise them when they do. So I believe that's a big part of having success in leadership.
Important thing about leadership to me is that it is an art. It's something that hard numbers can't necessarily guide, and data, and that puts me out of my comfort zone, and I've had to come to terms with that. And as such, one of the things I end up relying on is my gut, which I don't like doing, but I think for a leader to be successful and to exercise leadership successfully, you have to learn to know where it comes from and learn how to gauge it. And again, that goes back to feeling the gut and knowing how to leverage that into doing what you need to do at the right time before the numbers and the data and the spreadsheets are going to tell you that.
Colonel Art Athens came to the Fire Chiefs Conference several years ago, and he said, really, if you want to be a good leader, you really need to do three things, and that is know your job or be working hard path. That education was the key to success, and competence in our job, and I think that's what we have to do as leaders. Art Athens also says you have to have courage to do the right thing, but the right but hard things sometimes. And to me what that means is we're all going to be faced with ethical dilemmas. An ethical dilemma is a disparity between following the rules and doing the right thing. You have to have enough compassion and care and love for people that you tell them tell them the right thing or sometimes the hard thing, but make them do the right thing. That's compassion. It's not being easy on people.
Leadership is about relationships. Relationships is about building that trust and bond with the personnel around you, being honest and fair, being compassionate about the guys that you work with. You know, when they need somebody to listen or to talk to, and you need to have that listening ear, that is it's their time, their need. Give them that time, give them that need to be a listening ear for them. Don't make it about your time on that. And don't try to earn the respect. Don't be the ego and try to be democratic about trying to force respect by using your powers and stuff like that in leadership. And so leadership is all about relationships.
There are over 700 books on leadership, and everybody has their own definition. My personal definition is providing guidance to a individual or to a group of people. And you can expound that into simply saying, you know, to provide a direction, to give a purpose, to give a common goal. And leadership is just, it can be good or bad. I mean, there's been great leaders, there's been bad leaders, but they were all leaders nonetheless. Taking leadership and making it about everyone else and not about yourself, staying focused on your common goal, making sure that your personnel come ahead of yourself, having that true selfless approach to leading one person or leading a staff of people. Either way, it's up to each individual person to determine how they want to lead, how they want to approach it. Would you rather have the respect of your personnel, or would you rather lead through intimidation? Personally, I choose respect. I would rather, with the rank comes a certain amount of respect. The rest of it you have to earn on your own. And I believe in earning the respect of the folks that I get to work with every single day.
Well, leadership to me is something that I've learned. Sometimes you pick that up from previous leaders you work for, but leadership at this point in my life, I see the capability of you to motivate people that work for you, to push a vision out and work with them and develop that vision together, and you push that vision out together. And leadership's being prepared to give praise to those that do a great job and being able to accept full responsibility when things don't go right, because you are the leader. And helping embrace followership, because all of us, no matter how high we are in the food chain, we all have someone to answer to, whether it's an elected official or an appointed official, or citizens to answer to. So leadership has got to be able to be prepared to answer that for the good or the bad, be consistent in their decision making, have a little humility, remember that it's not about you, and stay organizationally centered. Lead for the organization, don't lead for any of your personal preferences.